Okay, now let us talk about how we can perform different options in order to bypass security. And firewalls are something unpredictable. We don't really know what its rules is in order to know exactly what type of scan you need to perform in order to bypass it. Some of firewalls might have a rule for MAC filtering, packet filtering, or port filtering. So we can't really know whether a target is behind firewall or not, and we can't really know what is filtering out. So how can we know that a target is behind a firewall? So when we do the Nmap scan, Nmap will tell us that the port is filtered. And what do we mean when filtered? Filtered is when Nmap can figure out whether a certain port is closed or opened, and that is due to dropping packets possibly because that port is behind a firewall. So in this part, you're going to see two options, and the first one is the tiny fragment packets, and the option will be -f, and the command we are going to use is sudo nmap-f and the IP address of your target system, which is 192.168.88.252. And for this part, I'm going to scan my Windows host machine. So the idea before this option is we'll split the TCP header over several packets to make it harder for packet filtering or intrusion detection systems to detect what you are doing. And basically this option will split the packets into 8 bytes or less. So I'm gonna press enter and it will perform the scanning, and this scan will send a tiny fragment packets and the target system will not able to detect it. And we can also specify the option twice like this: sudo nmap-f and also -f and your target's IP address. This will split the packets into 16 bytes per fragment, but be careful once running this option on an actual target, as some programs have trouble handling these tiny fragments of packets. So guys, when you perform this option right here, don't perform it on your actual target because some programs might have problem handling this type of scans. So generally this type will send 8 bytes of tiny fragments, and also this one will send the same tiny fragments, but this will be 16 bytes size. If you want to increase the fragment size, you can use the option --mtu. So the option will be --mtu. Just remember, after you specify mtu, the number size or the fragment size have to be multiple of 8. So it can be like 8 or 16 or 32 and so on and so on. So these are the fragments, the packets that you can send to your target system in order to bypass firewall. And there is also another option we can use, which is more focused on hiding your IP address than bypassing security, and that option is creating decoys using the -d. Sudo nmap-d, which is for decoy. And what this option does is it scans the target not only by you but also by the other decoys you specify, so their intrusion detection system might report it that is being scanned by multiple IP address. They will not be able to determine which one is real, so we can say that we successfully hide our IP address from them. So guys, what this option does is it will scan the target system not only by you, but it will also tell the target system that it's being scanned by other multiple IP addresses. And we're gonna see two different ways or options. The first is gonna be -d and rnd : and the IP address you want to scan it with. The command will be sudo nmap-d and rnd : and the number of IP address you want to scan it. So I'm gonna choose 5, and after that your target's IP address. So what this will do is it will scan your target system by randomly selecting 5 random IP addresses. So this will be, good in order to hide your IP address. And the second option, or the second way that we can use, is to use it to choose your own IP address. So this can be useful when you are to scan your local network, and you can choose your local IP address. So the command will be -d 192.168.88.243, 192.168.88.256, sorry, .251, 192.168.88.246, and at last you can enter ME, which is your local IP address, which is this Kali Linux IP address, and after that you can specify your target's IP address. So in this option right here, it will scan your target's IP address from this selected or specified IP addresses. So when the target system sees that they are being scanned, it will not know which is the real one, but this other specified IP address will be as a decoy. Okay, guys, this is the type of scan that we can use in Nmap to scan to bypass security or bypass firewall. And the first option that we got is the -s, and you can type this, just sudo, sorry, let me get to my terminal here, just type sudo nmap -s, and -s is for spoofing, and this option is used to spoof your IP address, and it will make your target think that someone else is scanning them. The problem with this is that you will not get a result scan back, since they will be sent to the IP address that you are trying to impersonate. So for example, you can try to impersonate 8.8.8.8, and your target will be scanned from this IP address. At least it will seem that the scan is coming from the IP address. And for this option to work, you must also specify the -pn, and this option is used to assume that all hosts are online, meaning that when you are trying to specify to scan your target, it will seem that the address it's trying to impersonate might not be active, but it will assume that all hosts are up and running. So it's important to mention this one. Also, sometimes it is used to specify the interface, and we can do that with the -e, which it can help you to specify your network interface, and you can find out your network interface by just simply typing the ifconfig command, and you will know your network interface. So let me open up my terminal here, and I'm going to type ifconfig, and as you can see here, my network interface is ETH0. So you can just type ETH0 right here, and this is the network interface option. Another cool option beside this that Nmap has is you can specify the source port with -g, and this can sometimes help to bypass a firewall. For example, let's say that a network address meter allows a traffic to come from a certain ports, and if you know these ports, you can specify them with the -g option, and it can help you to bypass a firewall. So it can be a random port, for example, let's say it's 777. Another option that we have is finscan. It's just like the same as the synscan, and you can just label it as sudo nmap -sf, and this will do a finscan. And you might be wondering what a finscan is, and finscan is just sending fin packets without any other flag. Okay, I get it, this can be confusing sometimes. You just have to practice with it, and I'm sure you will be familiar with them with no time. And just one advice I have is, every time if you don't fully understand something, just Google it, and that's how I learned as well. All of these options we did can be combined with something called the timing template, and you can find out about the timing template by opening your manual page of Nmap, and this is here the timing template, and this can help us to evade security evasions. And we also have 6 different options or 6 different modules, but what most important to us are the first 2, which are the paranoid and cynical one, and you can just specify them by just noting T3. Let me show you let me go back to my terminal and show you. You can just specify them. Sudo nmap -t. You can choose from the 6 different modules that you have, but it's recommend that you use the first 2, which is 0 or 1, and this will help you to evade the security. The problem with this modules is they will take a lot of time, since they are trying to avoid intrusion detection system alerts. So this is all of the things that we did in this part. Okay, great. All of the options that we did now and in the previous videos will help you in security evasion and spoofing. What I advise you to do is also read other options and see what you can do, and try to find out how you can set up to evade security and other things. And in the upcoming videos we have big things happening, so stay tuned and see you there.